Okay. Welcome to the podcast. This is podcast episode 6, whatever I decide to call it. Not for sure. So, I wrote a blog called I Wish I Could Slap You Like We're in a Thai series. And, I mean, not all passengers, not even most passengers, but there are a few where you guys, some of you out there in the flying public in these United States, can be quite irritating. Um, and get in the way of things and cause us delays for unnecessary minor first world BS. And I mean first world BS, as in they're not really problems, these are small inconveniences, and you are over exaggerating and acting as if the world is coming to an end. Honey, I got news for you. With the pandemonium, the world has already come to an end. So deal with it. You want Fresca? Sorry, we don't have Fresca. You're gonna live. But we have other co-products. We're still on Fresca. You want a Fanta? Well, too bad. I have ginger ale. You're gonna live. You're gonna live. But like in my blog, and I will quote, there are several reasons and behaviors from a few passengers that I encounter that make me want to slap them across the face. And I will probably say, for most flight attendants, they would agree with me as well. So these behaviors include stealing other passengers' seats that they were not assigned. Look, folks, you can't just take whatever seat you want, okay? There are certain seats that are blocked off for certain reasons. Because certain people cannot sit there due to a disability or a disqualification from the emergency exit row. Children are not allowed to sit in the emergency exit row unless you're at least 15 years or older. And on the needle jet, on the Embraer 145, if you have a lap child, you can't sit on the A side. That's the single seat to the right of the cabin. On the left side, or B and C, where you sit together, you can sit with a lap child on that side, except if you have like twins and you're a couple, both parents with both lap children can't sit in the same row. So if you're sitting in row 14 together, what we would do is have one parent sit in row 13 and then the other parent sit in row 14. And the reason is because in case of a depressurization or decompression, we use that interchangeably. What would happen is only 3 oxygen masks would come down per row for B, C side. So if you had 2 parents with the twins, one person is going to be asked out of an oxygen mask. So that is why. So I hope I explained that well enough, but that is the reason. And also, so you know, there are passengers that pay extra money to pick their seats. That fee is anywhere from, I'm going to say $15 on certain airlines, to up to $25 minimum, up to $75, up to $100 minimum to pick their seat. They pay extra money to pick the emergency exit row because they know that emergency exit row has extra leg room. And this person's like 6'3" or 6'4", they want that privilege to pay to pick their seat. So that's why you can't just take any seat that you want because you feel like it and you don't like your seat. You're screwing with another person's money. They paid that extra money to sit there. So don't do it. Don't do it. Because I will have to embarrass your ass. Another thing that makes me want to slap people, and I don't know why they think that they can do this. Number 2, polishing your nails or removing your nail polish with nail polish remover in the cabin. This is not your home. It's not your own personal bathroom. You're in public. There are people around you. You're on a public vessel. No, that is not the place to paint your nails. No, that is not the place where you decide you want to remove your nail polish and change it to another color and funk up the cabin with your nail polish remover or the nail polish. What is wrong with people? I mean, I want you to be comfortable, but not that comfortable. It is getting ridiculous. Number three, cutting your toenails in the airline cabin. And I have seen this. I have come through the cabin after a flight and found like 10 toenails clips on the floor. I've seen a dude sit in the first row diagonal to me and pick his scabs. I mean, these scabs are huge. It was disgusting. I could not believe what I was seeing. And he was so comfortable doing it and leaving the scab skin on the floor of the plane. You're disgusting. You know you're in public. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Oh my God. I guess because it was a night flight, he thought it was dark and nobody could see him. Like, dude, I'm sitting here on the diagonal. I can see you. I can see you. Don't do that crap. Don't cut your toenails, your foot nails. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Your fingernails. Pick your scabs. Don't shake out your dandruff from your disgusting scalp. That is gross. You are in public. Wow. I've seen it all. All right. So, another thing we don't like, and it has been a problem during the pandemic, is passengers trying to sneak alcohol onto the plane. You cannot, it is not allowed for you to bring your own alcohol on the plane. Now, granted, if you're coming from a trip from St. Croix with your cruising rum or something and you bought it through duty free, that's fine. That's prepackaged and it stays closed and sealed. I'm talking about you going to the bar, bringing your little cup of beer or wine on. And let me tell you, during the pandemic, a lot of these restaurants had to close, but they had bars, so they were trying to make their money. So they would have these to-go booze cups, and you saw these knuckleheads walking around the airport just acting a damn fool. Like, this ain't Party City. It's the airport. You know, have a drink or two. Drink to the point where you can handle your liquor, but don't be coming on here all boozed out and crazy. And you're not going to bring that crap on the airplane. It is not allowed. It is against federal regulations. You cannot do it, dude. You can't do it. Okay, I thought I got knocked out there. So, I've caught a few people trying to sneak your wine and whatever on. Look, let me tell you something. I love wine. I am a wine connoisseur. Okay, I'm not a sommelier or anything like that, but I like to, go to vineyards. I like wineries and tastings and things like that. I'm kind of from Virginia, so I did the Napa, they call it the Napa of the East, the whole Charlottesville area thing. And I've toured a few of those. It's fun. I love it. But because of that, I will smell a glass of Chardonnay or Sauvignon Blanc or a Cabernet or a Merlot from 20 miles away. And I know what you're drinking. Don't be slick. I had this lady try to be slick and come on. I smelt the Chardonnay before I could even see the cup. So don't try it. You're not slick. Now, I know how to be slick, okay? I'm the FA. I know how to be slick, but I'm not going to tell you that stuff. Well, maybe I might later. I don't know. But yeah, don't try to sneak booze on. Don't bring your bottle of booze on and ask me for a cup, because I'm going to tell you hell to the no, and you can't drink that on here. The alcohol is controlled, and I control it as the flight attendant. So I will decide what I give you, or excuse me, what I sell to you, and how much you can drink, because I'll be watching your behavior. If you start getting 2 sheets to the wind, and I think you're going to get 7 sheets to the wind, no, I can cut you off. I do have that power. You have a problem with it? Who cares? You better chill, because if you make a scene and act crazy, we will pull off into that cloud and have you arrested. I'm not talking to everyone. I'm not talking to most people. I'm talking to the few that may try to pull crap like this. Number 5, getting drunk in flight or boarding the airplane already drunk as a skunk. We don't like that either. Don't go to the airport and sit at the bar and drink until you're blue in the face and then try to board a flight. We will know. First of all, we can see you coming. You don't know how to walk. You're chatting everybody up like a lunatic and we can smell the booze on your breath. Don't do it, because you will be denied boarding. I'm not putting up with that crap. And the rule is, it doesn't matter if you're happy drunk or a shitty drunk. It doesn't matter. Just because you're happy and jolly because you're drunk, you ain't getting on either. Because that happy and jolly could flip the script while we're at 30,000 feet in the air. And now what we're going to do with you when you start acting like a goddamn fool. No one has time for that. We really don't. Handle your liquor. Don't get drunk at the airport. It's just not the place for it. It really isn't. It really isn't. Number 6. Oh, this puts me in a grind. Let me tell you. Again, you're in public. So when you board my flight, and most of my flights are full, by the way. I'm maxed out at 50. There are other people around you. I don't call it the needle jet for nothing. That sucker's small. Okay? So you better be mindful about playing your music or listening to your podcast, your K-drama, your movie, your show, your video games, loud-ass video games, over the device speaker. I don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. Other passengers around you don't want to hear it. Look, here's the rule. You're listening to these things on basically little mini tablets that have cellular capabilities. Okay? Your Kindles, your iPads, your iPhones, your Samsung Galaxies, your LGs, whatever you got. If you can afford those devices, then that means you can afford earbuds, AirBuds, Skull Candy, headphones, Beats, whatever. There's a variety in price ranges. You can afford them. Okay? Make sure you use them in an airplane cabin. I don't care if it's a 757 or Airbus 321. Doesn't matter. Use common sense. Use some courtesy. Put the headphones on. And keep them on. And one more thing, number 7, disrupting or involving yourself in crew enforcement of FARs with the flight attendant who is trying to handle a situation that has nothing to do with you. Stay out of it. Stay out of it. The only time, because I'm going to explain this to you. We have our jobs to do. We are informers, not necessarily enforcers, but we have to inform you about things that you need to do to follow a federal aviation regulation. And that is our job. So don't interfere and try to over-involve yourself, okay? Everybody has a cell phone with a camera on it. Shoot. I have my flight attendant manual on my iPhone 12. And the camera works on that too. Don't think that I cannot turn that camera on you, boo-boo kitty, because I can. All right? I can do that. That viral video of Spirit Airlines where that one woman, it's a black woman with braids, and she had a Star David around her chest, and she has on blue contacts. She was trying to go into the flight deck. The flight was on the ground, by the way, so no one panic here. She was trying to go into the flight deck on the ground when they were trying to get her off the aircraft. All 5 crew members, the captain, the first officer, all 3 flight attendants, they had their cell phones out and they were recording her. Guess what? I can record you too. So again, just don't involve yourself when we're doing our jobs. We're doing our jobs as we're trained to do them. The only time I want like passenger involvement is if someone is trying to invade the flight deck or something like that, or a family's trying to sit together and maybe some passenger was like, "Oh, I'm willing to switch with you," whatever. I don't care about stuff like that. That's a help. But other than that, we are here to do our jobs, and you should not involve yourselves or push it any further. Okay, folks, this is some breaking news here. It is dated for Saturday, October 8th, 2022. The article is by Myrna Al-Sharif and Donna Mendel. This is via NBC News. Title: Man allegedly on magic mushrooms arrested after assaulting crew members on United Airlines flight. So a man allegedly on magic mushrooms was arrested after assaulting crew members during a United's flight from Miami to Washington, D.C. on Tuesday, according to the affidavit filed in the Eastern District of Virginia. Approximately 1 hour into the flight, Sharu Logan Sevilla allegedly started wandering around the plane, running up and down the aisle, clapping loudly near the cockpit, and yelling obscenities, according to the affidavit. At one point during his outburst, Sevilla allegedly broke a small plastic piece off the bathroom door and opened it while another passenger was inside. Oh, geez. Sevilla allegedly also got in passengers' faces and stared and smiled at them. A father and his daughter sitting near him, who were moved after he grabbed the daughter's arm, told investigators that he wasn't right. Sorry, I was going to make a little joke here. This isn't funny, but I use the term he was a little touched. But anyway, the passenger refused to take his seat when asked by flight attendants, opting to lay on the floor instead. When one flight attendant instructed Sevilla to get back to his seat, he allegedly attacked her by grabbing and twisting her right breast. Oh my God. Passengers, flight attendants, and a law enforcement officer on board then jumped in to restrain Sevilla, who resisted but was eventually handcuffed. During the struggle, Sevilla twisted the arm of a second flight attendant, according to the affidavit. The out-of-control passenger continued to scream and yell incoherent things while handcuffed for the rest of the flight, according to the document. Law enforcement, including FBI agents, responded to the aircraft upon landing, and Sevilla was arrested for assaults within maritime and territorial jurisdiction, as well as interference with flight crew members. We'd like to thank our crew for handling this difficult situation with professionalism, said United Airlines in a statement shared with NBC News. We also followed up with our crew members to make sure they were okay. During an interview with the FBI several hours later, Sevilla said that he took psilocybin, I know what this is, a psychedelic known as magic mushrooms, at Miami International Airport before boarding the flight, authorities said. According to authorities, he said he remembered being out of his seat, being loud, and touching people during the flight. Hey guys, just real quick, if you like this podcast, don't forget to subscribe and shoot me an email.